So welcome to jvfocus.com walkthrough. It's William Murray here. We're going to have a walkthrough of the functionality of jvfocus, show you some of the features and show you how it can benefit your business. We're going to take some questions and answers towards the end of the call. I will stop periodically throughout the webinar just to see if anybody has specific questions. If I go too quick or if I lose audio or anything of that good stuff, just please let me know in the chat box. When you're asking a question as well, let me know your name as well, because when I use lead pages for the registration, it's tagged everybody as friend. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just be one moment. You should be able to see my screen now. Can you let me know if you can see my screen? That would be just perfect. Then we'll get cracking. If you just give me a quick yes in the chat box, if you can see my screen, that would be great, thanks. Cool, thank you. Okay, let me just get Firefox up. I don't want to show my other screen in Chrome. I've got about a gazillion tabs open on that one, so we'll use Firefox. Okay, some may be guests on the call, most probably members of jvfocus.com, so you'll be familiar with the login process. If you're a non-member, then you'll be presented with this lovely band here inviting you to register. So that's always going to be there when you're browsing about. There's some boards as well which you will have no access to. For example, we've got some exclusive forum boards there, so that's for our VIP members. We've also got a training section where we put all training material in on a regular basis. So you'll notice there is no access to these boards at all. That is a member only benefit. So I'm just going to quickly log in. There's something to note in the login box. It's something that we haven't actually addressed yet, and that is the Facebook login option right here. That does not function, because the reason that doesn't function is we don't allow any free registrations on the site at all. So you need to be a paid up, signed up member in order to log in. This will not function even for paid members. So you must log in with your jvfocus account name and password. So that'll be your username or your email address. So the Facebook login is tied to the registration process, and that is being completely disabled. We didn't want any free registrations when we set up the site, when we came up with the concept. Pardon me, purely down to we wanted to deal with people who seen the value in investing in themselves and their business, albeit a very small amount. The original price point was $10 per month, and that has now gone up to $14.95 per month with a $1.70 trial. So we wanted to disqualify any potential trolls, any potential time wasters, and we also wanted to deal with people who've seen the value in that investment. So that is the reason you cannot get a free account. So I'll just quickly log in. Now I'm just going to ask whoever's on at the moment, if there's a specific area of the site that you're not sure of or you would like to learn more about, then please let me know in the chat box just now, and we'll cover it off. It's going to be very informal, this call, so don't worry about it. Usually all my calls are informal. But just to give you a quick overview, you will not see this administrative band across the top unless you're a moderator of the site. There's only 4 in the admin team at the moment. Myself, my son Liam Murray, we're both administrators. We have Steve Waller and Cheryl Johnson, who are moderators of the site as well. So you will not see the moderation bar along the top. It will be like that. So I'm just going to quickly check the questions. Okay, none yet. Good, good. We may as well start along the top menu bar. You have your home button, obviously. Then there's a members tab here, where it will display the top 50 members by the most messages, the most likes that they've received, the most points, and you'll see a staff members tab there, so you can see staff here. You can see Cheryl's a moderator, Liam's administrator, Steve is a moderator, and I'm a moderator too. So it's listed out, categorized if you like, so you can get a snapshot of who is sort of most active within jvfocus.com, and you can sort that by number of messages, the most likes that they've received by their messages that they've posted out or threads they've started. The actual points itself is trophy points. Well, I'll cover off the jvfocus rewards program shortly, which we made active at the weekend. So all members are now awarded $1 credit per point they accrue on the point system. So what that means in a nutshell is that we want to reward members for interaction and sharing value on the site. So for example, if we take Gordon, he's accrued 88 points at the minute. So Gordon has an $88 credit that he can redeem on services within the site. I should ask actually, is my screen large enough? Can you see my screen okay? Let's see if I can increase this without kicking myself off. Or there we go, I think that will probably be a bit better. Just see. Think you're in trial mode. Can you just let me know who said that? When the trials now should be up, unless you just recently signed up in the last few days. After your trial mode, you should have full account access to your standard account. So if you can just let me know, that would be great, thanks. And I'll come back to you. So that's how you can get a quick snapshot of all the members. Well, it's not all the members, it's the top 50 members. And so the join today literally is just the sales page, which we're in the process of revamping. So hopefully within next week we'll have a new sales page up and live. The advertising section, I'll go into this real quick. Most of these advertising options are going to come out. We're going to, when we first came up with the concept of the site, we looked at different banner areas that we could potentially put up for members and visitors, and the reality was it just looked a little bit too ad heavy. So this needs updating, so I wouldn't really pay much attention to the ad section at the minute. If you're interested in ads, then hit myself or Liam up directly and we'll point you in the right direction and give you the correct costs. So I may as well do the sub menu here. You can mark forum boards as read. So if you're a member and you're potentially hundreds of messages behind, then you can mark them as read. I'm not going to mark them as read because I like to personally respond to every single message that goes out. You've got the two ways that you can search the forum, and I suggest you just use the one at the top right here. We use, to get a little bit geeky for a minute, we use Elasticsearch as a third-party search engine on the actual server, so it's not on the forum script at all, it's on the server. So it's a big number cruncher and it's got really advanced indexing capabilities. It can literally index millions and millions of pages quite comfortably, and the results it returns is instant pretty much. Not quite up there with Google, but it's a really good utility. Yeah, for example, I don't know, so let's see, I'll search for some of Steve's posts. And you can see, the results are very quick and it pulls up by relevance Steve's, every single post that he's commented on. And, if I do another real quick one, I don't know, let's just say email open rates, I've just noticed that one there. And you can see right away it's picked up one at the very top, and you'll find that email open email open rates or email open or email is all in there. So it's a really good search facility. So if you're not quite sure if something that you know exists and you can't quite find it, then use the search facility. It's very, very powerful. Watch forums simply means that you can, I'm not actually watching any at the moment, but you can selectively watch some forums. I'll go into the threads in a minute and show you how you can do that. You can watch individual threads and get alerts for them. And you can then list your watch threads. And if you want to pull up any posts that you've not actually read on the forum, then just simply go to new posts along the top. And that pulls up all the threads since you last read a particular thread. There might be new messages or posts within that thread, and it will pull a list up by date range from the newest to the oldest at the bottom. So that's really a useful feature. And I'm just going to go home for a second and we'll have a look at the messaging system in a moment and go over some terminology. It may be a little bit confusing to some people because it is actually called conversations, and it took Liam and I a little while to figure out how to delete messages from the inbox of your conversations. So I'll go over that as well. And the last item along the top is alerts that you receive. Now the alerts, let's just see what Dan has wrote on my profile. Okay, let me see. Okay, it looks like Dan, who originally requested this, can't figure out how to get on the call. So I'm not quite sure if Dan is about. I'm just going to maybe try and message him. It doesn't look like it. So he will have to catch the recording. I'm not sure if you're on, Dan, or not, but is the platform like Facebook? That's a really good question. It's the best way to describe it is it's very social. It's got a social layer to the traditional forum boards. So it's extremely interactive, and I'm going to show you how to grab other members' attention in a moment. We'll go through some tagging strategies that you can use if you're responding to somebody. Let me see. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry, Dan is going to have to do without, I'm afraid. So, yeah, like I said, you know, it's very interactive. It's got a social layer above there. You can see that, you know, somebody's just liked my post there. If I want to go see all my alerts, I can pop in here and have a look at the history of all my alerts. You can see that I've been tagged in a post here by Rehan. So I can check out, you know, where Rehan has tagged me. You just go down, you'll see that Rehan's tagged me here. You can see my name is highlighted. If I click on it, it comes up with my member profile. So we'll cover that a little bit in depth in a wee bit. It's a very useful tool to grab somebody's attention. I'll show you how you can tag somebody. There's a couple of different strategies and methods that you can use, and it is very straightforward. I'm probably going to stop just for a quick drink of water. If you've got any questions at this point, let me know, and I'll take a few questions just while I pause for a drink of water. A new thread simply means if you want to start a new topic or discussion. I'm sorry, I don't know what your name is. So a new thread just means that, you know, you're going to start a discussion in whichever board you decide to do so. I will create a new thread shortly and show you how to do that. Sharon, hi Sarah, hi, okay, cool, okay. Yeah, we'll cover that in a wee bit, Sharon. Why don't some of the profile pictures show on the Who's Online list, like mine and Paul's? Who's that question from? Can you let me know? And I'll just cover that off in a second. David, okay. It's because they haven't uploaded a profile photo, David. So if I go to my profile and my avatar, just bring that up. So there's two options. You can upload an image, or you can use your gravatar. Is anybody not familiar with the term gravatar? It's something that you would set up if you have a WordPress site. It's like a worldwide recognized profile that you can pick up when you've got a WordPress site. So you can put your gravatar ID in here and it will pull it into here. I've just put my photo up manually, David, so we have both though. I'm sorry, I don't get what that means. We have both though. You've got the option to use both, for sure, if you're on about the... So did I. Both. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can use your gravatar ID, or you can just upload a picture. Either or works perfectly fine. Any more questions? If there's no more questions, I'm probably just going to pop on to the profile section. No. Okay. So I'll just go, I'm going to bring my profile up. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of everything here. I won't kind of dilly-dally, I'll go through it quite quickly. So you can see a quick snapshot of the number of messages to the right here. Okay, looks like I never turned Facebook chat off. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You should be able to see my screen again. So on the right hand side, you can see a summary of the messages I've created, the number of likes I've received, and the number of points I've generated. Hold on a second, see what Sharon's saying. No, not at all. I mean, you know, if you want to enter a thread discussion that's happening about a particular topic, then have a look at the actual thread itself. You can maybe pick out 1 or 2 points and add your opinion. You could add value to the thread. Your name is going to be on your profile, which I'll show in a moment anyway, when we cover the threads section. And okay, so the right hand here, you can see the latest threads, which is visible on the profile. And to the left, you can see my activity. So that's when I last logged in. The date I joined was when the forum was actually installed. Again, messages, likes received, points, trophy points received, and warning points would be if one of the moderators or administrators had to warn you for anything, we could give you a point or two for that warning. Thankfully, nobody's required that. This styling here, where you've got a following, so this is the people that I'm following, so Gaz and James Cooper, James Brown, sorry. But the styling needs fixed there, that needs to be white. So it's something that we will do. And the number of people that's actually following me, or it will be you in your case. And if we scroll down a little bit, and we've got some profile details here, my gender, birthday, my homepage, my location, and my occupation as an entrepreneur. So I'm just going to quickly go through these settings just to give you a feel for what's what. So if we have a look at the, we'll take it from the top. So we've got the account section. So you can put a status message in if you like. It's not something that I've used as yet. So you can have a status message in there. You can also give yourself a custom title to go underneath your profile if you wish to do so. Then we have our gender section. You don't obviously need to disclose that. If you want to remain private, that's fine. And you can see my date of birth is in here. And if you make a mistake with your date of birth, then you'll need to raise a support ticket or contact me directly, and I'll make a modification change. So you can choose to show the day and month of your birth or your actual year of birth, so you can hide that but still have it listed. And you can see the location, occupation, and homepage address. Now, if you have a website for your business, then you definitely want to fill this out, because that will give you a link back to your website, and it also gives people viewing your profile an opportunity to click through to your website and see what you're all about. The About You section is just some information I've randomly put in a rush, so I really literally filled it out within a few minutes. And yeah, so we'll move on to the alerts section next. So this is any alerts that I've received. I've went through this already along the top, so it's just the same as this. And show all. So that is really straightforward. Next section in your profile is your newsfeed. So this is just items in my newsfeed. That's parsed out on my wall. I can see older items if I want. And recent activity, or people that I follow, I can see their newsfeed as well. So I'll just scroll back. And the actual likes that I've received, I keep on saying me because we're looking at my profile at the moment. So you can see the people who have liked posts or messages that I've created, and that is all indexed. So it's all recorded. And if I had any watch threads, which I don't, then I could list them out there, just the same as the top menu that we've seen before, and watched forums as well. So again, just the same that we've seen before along the top. We'll cover the conversation section in a minute. I just want to quickly go through your profile settings first. So if we take the personal details, which we just seen a moment ago, ironically, that was the same, so I'm going to skip past that one. Now, for those of you who have your signatures enabled, then you will see a white box in here where you can put your signature in. You can have a signature image as well. I haven't enforced a height restriction on signature images yet. I'm kind of leaving that up to members and to make sure that you're going to be reasonable with the height of your signatures. 120 pixels is high enough in my opinion for a signature image. If you go any higher than that, then I will have a private word with you to reduce the height of your image. And if you don't reduce the height of your image, then I'll disable your signature. So it looks awful when there's a really high image in there, and it really spoils the whole thread of the sort of view for everybody. So keep that in mind when you're doing a signature image. It is a really good way to get click-throughs as well. Now, if you didn't get your signature as a bonus for when you signed up, then it does cost $5 per month. It's actually charged at $60 per year because it's an advertising spot where you can advertise your products, your services, or any upcoming JV page for launch that you might have. So that's why the signature area is charged for. But if you go in on the lifetime deal, or if you go in on some of the specials that we recently did, then your signature, if it's activated now, it's activated for life. Okay, we just go to the contact details section. Just please ignore my email. Don't send me any spam, please. So you can set your password in here. You can choose to receive site mailings or not. So that it's not very often that I will send a site-wide email through the administrative panel, because that really only should be used for if there's an outage on the site coming up. You know, if we've got some work to do in the site and we need to switch the board off for an hour, say, then I will do a site-wide mailing. So if you don't want to receive any mails from in that manner, then you can disable that. It's up to you. I'm not sure if this element here is configurable for you guys or not as a non-administrator, but it should be. So you can choose to accept conversations or not. You can disable it. I would suggest if you're going to block anybody from contacting you on the site, then you're losing out on potential business. So you should have that set to members only. No visitor to the site can message you anyway. It's only members only. You can choose to receive an email when a new conversation message has been received, so you can be alerted of that. And you can receive an email when your name has been mentioned in a thread, so that's when somebody's tagged you or replies to a profile post. Now, the Google Plus author sections, I'm not going to go through how to set this up. There is a thread on the forum which covers how to set this up, and I'm going to explain why you should have it set up in a minute. In fact, I'm going to demonstrate. If I just do a quick Google, see if I can spell Stefan's name correctly. I think it's Sandin. Let me just see. Give that a minute to load. And I think I might have it right or wrong. I'm not quite sure. Right, so I'm going to search for one of Stefan's posts, and I'm going to demonstrate exactly what this section's for. Just get Stefan's profile up. Murray, is this a platform about writing a blog, or is it just a hangout? Sharon, my name's William. Murray is my surname, just to let you know. This platform isn't about writing a blog, it's for joint ventures, for learning internet marketing strategies, so on and so forth. Right, I'm just going to see if I can find Stefan's profile a second. Just be a moment. There we go. I'll just close that. So I'm going to go to his postings. So that is posts that he's been involved with. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to choose Find All Threads by Stefan. So here's Stefan's latest post. This is the thread that he started. And you'll notice underneath Stefan's profile it has by Stefan Sandin. So this comes back to the Google Plus author and Google Plus link. I'm going to show you the effect of Stefan taking the time to set this up. I'm going to have a search on Google for his post. And it should be there, hopefully. This is one he just posted out the other day. In fact, it's not actually showing. The other day when I checked this, you can see it's by Stefan Sandin. it actually had his profile picture here. So I'll just do a quick Google. Let's do a quick check for it on Google. I'll take this URL and preview it. So that's the preview. So that's the exact effect from taking the time to set up Google Plus authorship for your jvfocus profile. It will append your image where possible to any threads that you create and share. No worries, Sharon, no worries. So, like I said, there is a document. Let me see if I can find it. So if you just have a look for Google Plus authorship on jvfocus, and here it is here right at the very top, how to set up Google authorship on jvfocus. And that talks you through the whole process. It's quite a short how-to tutorial, but it will show you how to set it up. Okay, so I'm going to go into the privacy section next. So you can choose to show your online status, receive site mailings like we covered already, your birth privacy, or if you want to make it public, that's fine. And you can also choose who views your profile. Again, I would suggest you would allow all visitors to view your profile. So the whole idea is that this is an opportunity for you to get click-throughs to your websites. So it'd be silly to hide it in private mode unless you have a personal reason for that. So yeah, members only, I would suggest. If you restrict it to people who only follow you that can leave a message on your profile page, then that's not really much benefit. And you can choose, people can subscribe to your news feed. Again, I've let that be to all visitors. Again, this is just a couple of settings for people that start a conversation with you and can view your identities. So it's just privacy options if you want them enabled or disabled. Now, there's in your preferences section, you can actually modify the style of a jvfocus. I'm going to quickly flip this over in a second and flip it back. So this is the actual default style of Zenforo, and in my opinion, it's an okay theme, but it's not very good, and it's not exactly what we've designed the site for. So your default style will be the jvfocus branding. I'm just going to flip that back over and just take a second. The internet is a bit slow today. Just while that's loading, do we have any more questions at the moment? Okay, I'll carry on. So you got your time zone. Again, you can choose to automatically watch threads that you create or when you reply to one and receive email notifications. You've got the choice of editor when you're creating a thread, if you want it to be rich text editor. You can use a Flash-based uploader, which is what I use. Show people's signatures with their messages. You can actually disable that so you don't view anyone's signatures. Show people's signatures within their messages and online status to show if you're online or offline. And you can also restore any notices that you may have dismissed. So again, that may be useful or not, as the case might be. Okay, and again, this is more alert preferences orientated. So you've got a whole heap of different preferences you can set in here. So you can sort of fine tune the types of alerts that you receive. I'm not going to go through these one by one. And again, I can see people that I follow. I can choose to unfollow them, or I can choose to follow somebody. Say, for example, if I wanted to follow Steve Waller, I just type his name in here and I'm now following him. And it'll do a database lookup as well, so if you're not quite sure, you can type the first few letters of somebody's name and it will pop up their profile. So, you know, if I do another one, CH, it'll bring up all the CHs. And you can choose, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you can choose to ignore people as well. I guess, you know, it's just covering all the bases. I don't ignore anybody. It's not as if we're going to be about a gabillion, 100 million or whatever members. It's never going to be that large, so it's going to be a tight community. That's everybody has to sign up and pay to get in. So I'd be surprised if you want to ignore anybody. A Facebook integration, you can integrate your Facebook profile with your jvfocus profile, and that's handy when you're liking posts and threads. You can have the integration so it automatically populates over. So excuse me, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water again, and if you've got any questions, we're just coming up to the last bit in the profile and then we'll skip on. So if you've got any questions in the meantime, please let me know. The last section in your profile here is your passwords. So, right, no questions. Okay, we're going to pop into the conversations section. I'm just going to close that a little bit. Forgive the amount of conversations I have started, or private messages or emails, whatever you want to refer to them as. But bottom line, these are labeled as conversations in jvfocus. Now, if I see, I'm just going to pick an old syndication message that I put out. If you tick the box beside it, you've got some actions that you can follow. So I can leave the conversation, and believe it or not, that's how you delete a conversation in your inbox. You might be surprised to know, you leave it. So I can mark it as read. I can mark it as unread. So we'll just mark it as unread. And let's just show the quick effect of that. So it says it's unread now. Oops, that's just brought up Chad's profile there. So I'll take this back. I can star it. So if I wanted to highlight this conversation, I can highlight it. And that helps with filtering actions. Yeah, at the moment, I think I've got almost 1,000 messages in my inbox. So it's just really good inbox management if you can do that kind of thing. I'm going to unstar it. So just take that flag off. And then I am going to, when that loads, just do it again. A deselect conversation just means take the checkbox out or close this overlay, which is here. So the action I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the conversation. And it's going to give me two options here. I can remove it from my inbox entirely, and then if somebody within the conversation contacts me again, that will then pop back into my inbox. Or I can ignore future messages, which deletes the whole thing out completely. So because this message is locked, I'm just going to leave it completely, and you'll see this will now leave my inbox. It's gone effectively. So that is pretty much your inbox. That you can when it gets to a bit of a mess like mine, I mean, you'll see the way it populates. I'm trying to see if I can get one up. Yeah, let me take this one up. It can be quite difficult to see who you've sent messages to, especially when you send a lot of messages like me. But the easiest way is if you go into the message, you'll see the conversation participants. It will have you and one other if it's just one other person that you've messaged. You're allowed as an ordinary member to message up to 5 people, and that's it. And that's really done as a regulation for spam, potential spam options. So that's the easiest way to see who's participating in that message or conversation or email. But when you've got a mailbox or conversation box like I have, you can filter it out. So say, for example, if I wanted to see all messages I've sent Gordon Russell, so again, it will pop his name up there, set the options, and I've got all the messages I've sent to Gordon Russell personally, as you can see. Or if I wanted to see who started a conversation with me, and let's just choose one here. So that's messages that I've received. I can just put the user's name in there, and sure enough, there it pops up. So that's kind of browsing your way about the messages. I'm just going to see if we've got any questions. Nope. Okay. So to start up a conversation, I'm just going to go back here real quick. You can either do it at the bottom, start a new conversation, or you can mouse over the envelope and start a new conversation. So participants, I don't know, I'll just send Gordon one. It will automatically put a comma at the end. That's perfectly fine. But if I wanted to include Steve Waller and Cheryl Johnson in the conversation, then I can do so. You as an ordinary user will be able to message 5 people maximum at any given time. Your conversation title is just your subject. I'll just put this as a test. And you've got a similar editor that you have when you're creating threads or replying to threads or new posts, if you will. So you put your message in here. If you want the message to be one-way conversational, then you can lock the conversation, which I tend to do for the syndication emails. I lock the conversation. So as you can imagine, when I'm sending a broadcast out to 72 people, the last thing I want is 20 or 30 people chipping into conversation. So I lock the conversation. So it's just like a one-way conversation. You can also allow anybody you're starting a conversation with to invite other people into that conversation. So that's where it starts to become a little bit more powerful than just a private message. And you can, you can insert a video if you want. You've got the embed media URL. You just put your YouTube URL in there. You can insert an image URL, or you can upload an image using the upload file option right there. And so that's pretty much conversations. I'm going to pause for a second and just ask, does anybody have any questions in regards to the conversation section? If not, I'm going to quickly take a sip of water, then move on to the threads section. So Sharon was a bit confused with the threads. Okay, I'm just going to go down to a test board. This board nobody can see at all, and if you're a guest on the call, then you'll see the exclusive forums as the VIP joint mastermind section. This is a board that was set up for the concept of jvfocus. So I just use it for testing, really. You can actually see I've done a test thread here last night, and I don't mind sharing it. It's not exactly that private, but I've just copied content out of Dan Tredo's post to do a mock-up for the designer. You can see my beautiful design work. I can't design for toffee, but I've done a mock-up for the designer and sent some instructions over to him. So anyway, I'll go back here. So if you want to just browse about threads, you can let me in fact open up this test thread. So if you want to just simply reply to a thread, then you would read the thread and see if you can pick up on a paragraph or two that you found you could give a formed opinion on, or you can add value to the conversation, whatever the context might be. Then you would just simply write whatever your response is in here. If you wanted to include an image file, you can simply browse on your hard drive and it will upload an image file. For some reason that's not uploading. There we go. And now you can choose to have it as a thumbnail, inserted as a thumbnail, or you can insert it as a full-sized image. So you can see that I've inserted 2 different image sizes there. I'll just quickly show you the effect of that. So there we go. So that's a full height and width image. And you got the thumbnail there, and that will pop out into a new window, as you can see here. I always use the full-sized image, and there is a restriction of 25 images per post. Now that's quite excessive, because when I do a how-to tutorial, for example, I will potentially use up to 25 images in that post, so I don't want to make it 10 images like some other forums. So I'm just going to quickly edit this and remove those. And I'm going to delete that image out here at the minute. And I'll just put some text in here just now. Okay, so I'm just going to cover off tagging. It's really simple. So there's a couple of ways that you can tag people. Excuse me if I take a quick sip of water. There's a couple of ways that you can tag people who are members. So the first one is you can use the @ symbol on your keyboard, and if you type in the first name of the person you want to tag, you'll see a drop down of that member name. You just simply click on it, and you can see at the moment that doesn't actually look like it's tagged anybody. It's not hyperlinked like you would see on Facebook. It's just ordinary text, but that has actually tagged Liam. As soon as I post reply, Liam will get an alert to say that he's been tagged in this post. There's another way you can do it, and I'm going to demonstrate that manually. You can actually copy their profile name and paste it in, but I've found that that doesn't actually fire a tag alert. So it does hyperlink back to their profile, but it doesn't fire a tag alert. The other way you can do it, if you know good old BB code, is that you can code it in with BB code. So if you mouse over the person's profile who you want to tag, I'm not sure if you can see to the bottom left, there's a hyperlink on the window. Can you let me know if you can see that? You can see William-Murray .1. So the .1 represents my numeric membership ID number. So I'm number 1. So you can do this in BB code. If you do left bracket user equals numeric ID 1. And if this is a little bit too advanced for you, then don't worry about it. The @ symbol username works perfectly fine. But the main benefit of doing it with the BB code is that it allows you to only use first name. I know Liam is number 2, so I'm going to use Liam and stick his first name in, and I'm going to close the user statement, and that's it. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to show you a quick cheat for that. So you can see Liam has been tagged. It's now hyperlinked. And if I click on that, it comes up with his profile. Liam will now receive an alert to say that he's been tagged in this thread. So that's a really good way of grabbing somebody's attention when you are replying to a post, for example. And you can see here it has my profile, and I'm going to go back. Just using a cut and paste of the first name. That's strange. Where's my post gone to? I just need to refresh this page. Hold on a second. And the last one here is Liam's. So I'm just going to pop that up, and you can see it has correctly done Liam's profile. Now, I'm just going to do another post and show you a way that you can do that just identifier as the first name. So, when you're doing a conversation reply, it might not warrant the first name, last name. So, for example, you may only want to use their first name, but still tag them. So you can still do that. You can write your message in and then tag the person that you want and then post a reply. You can then edit your post that you've just put up. And you can see it's done the BB code there for me. So I'm just going to delete Liam's surname out of there and save it. And there you go. That's it tagged by first name. Did everybody understand the tagging system and how to tag somebody? Can you just let me know, please? That'll be perfect. Yes, cool. Thank you. And, if you've done a mistake and you can't be bothered editing or, whatever, you can choose this tick box here and, you can delete it completely. So I'm going to choose to delete that, and I'm going to permanently delete it, and that's going to take my post out. It's quite straightforward, and I'm just going to do the same with this. Delete, permanently delete it, and I just quickly delete the last one. Okay, that's done. I'm just going to go into some of the main boards. We'll cover off some threads real quick, and then I'm going to start wrapping up. If there's something you feel I've missed, then let me know. If anybody wants to come on audio and have a chat with me and ask a particular question, then stick your hand up and go to webinar. There should be an option to stick your hand up. So if you can see that option, do that now, and I will come back to you in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to go into the main internet marketing discussion board. We're going to Cheryl's post. It's going to take me down. So, like I said, there's a few things that I can do here to grab Cheryl's attention if, I'd read her post and felt it gave me, really good value and I wanted to credit her as a thank you, I would like her post. So I'm just going to like that. And you can see that the number of people who have liked Cheryl's post already, and it has their names tagged at the bottom. So that's one way. Cheryl will now get an alert up here that will say, similar to Paul's, that William Murray's liked your post, and it'll give the thread link there. Another way that I could grab Cheryl's attention, and this is a really good way of, how can I put it, of getting their numeric membership ID as well. So if you remember, I said you can mouse over and you can see Gordon Russell is .7, so that's his numeric membership ID. You can also reply by quoting their message. I'm not sure if you got that or not, but I maybe did that a little bit too quick. But however you want to quote, you simply click reply, okay? And that will quote their message. And you can see here that I've got Cheryl's member number there as 74. So if I wanted to use that tagging method in BB code, then I could just tag user number 74. Now, that is one way of doing it. That's quite a big message to quote. So I may only want to take, maybe perhaps her opening statement and just highlight the rest and delete the rest of it, and only just literally quote this message here. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to do that. Just put test response. And I'm going to reply. And you can see it's quoted that paragraph there with my test response. Cheryl will now get an alert to say that I've quoted her in this post, again up in the alert box here. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete it. That's going to confuse her. There's a delete option here as well, and I'm going to permanently delete it. So sorry, Cheryl, but there you go. And yeah, we'll have a look at Les's next. I'm just going to, like say for example, want to like Les's post, he'll get an alert to say that I've liked his post. I'm going to hit reply, and I'm going to quote the first paragraph first. So I'm just going to copy or cut out that statement there. This is a response to the first paragraph. Then I'm going to quote another paragraph. So you've got the quote option here. You can see the cursor is flashing in amongst those two quote statements. You just paste out whatever statement that might be. I'm going to chop that last one out and do it manually. You can do it manually as well. This is a response, second paragraph. So yeah, you can just do a left bracket, quote, close, right bracket, copy in their paragraph or their sentence that you want to quote, and then left bracket, / to close the quote statement, and then close it with a right bracket, and that will quote that single sentence. And I just put this as a response to the third, or to a sentence. I'll just reply, and you can see that I've quoted 3 of Les's stuff there. And again, Les will get an alert to say that he's been tagged in a reply that I've made, and also a like. I liked his post. But again, I'm going to delete this because this is a live thread, so I'm just going to delete that. And if we just go back to the main internet marketing discussion board, because I haven't covered off creating a new topic or thread, however you want to coin it. Right, I'm going to go right back to in here. Let me see. Yeah, we'll go back into this one, I suppose. So I mentioned you can watch a forum before. So I'm going to choose this watch forum option to the top right. So new threads or new messages, or don't send notifications. You can send it as an alert, which is your top right, or emails. So I'm just going to watch that forum. So now if I go back to my watched forums, you can see that I'm now watching this particular forum. And I'm going to go back into this forum, Internet Marketing. Now I've got a load of different actions that I can take here because I'm an administrator. So just don't pay any attention to any of this at the moment. So I'm going to close that for now. And just unselect that. Just pop into Cheryl's thread again. So I can watch Cheryl's thread without receiving email notifications, or I can receive email notifications as well. So I'm just going to watch her thread. So again, if I go back to watched threads, okay, that didn't quite work. So let's try again. Just quickly check I did that right. Yeah, it is watching. Okay, for some reason it's not listed in watch threads. That's maybe a little bug there. So you can see the glasses there to say that I'm actually watching that thread. So I'm going to unwatch that thread now and stop watching. If we go back to the Internet Marketing Discussion Forum, when you want to post a new thread, when you want to share value, first and foremost, select the board that's most applicable to whatever topic it is you want to cover off. That's important. I'm not really strict on that. But, for example, you wouldn't have off-topic discussion within the internet marketing board, for example. Try and make it internet marketing related. I'm just going to put this as a test thread. Again, you've got your different options here. You can bold, italic, underline, strike through. You can change the color of your font. You can change your font size. You can change the font type. Okay. This is a test thread. If I want to hyperlink an external reference source, then I would highlight the area that I want to hyperlink and then hit the chain button here along the top. Then put the link in here. Something I should add at this point is that if you're referencing an external source, then it needs to be applicable to the thread. I don't want anybody being self-promotional within their thread. When that starts happening, then I'll have a private chat. So make sure it's relevant to the content that you're sharing, and by all means have an external reference source. Insert, and that's it. That is hyperlinked. Again, it doesn't look like it's hyperlinked, but it is hyperlinked. And you got standard tools, your alignment. You can have bullets or not. You can have numbers or not. And you can outdent and indent, or put a nice smiley face you'll see down at the bottom. And you can insert an image URL or a video. Again, the video can be from any of these sites: Dailymotion, Facebook, LiveLeak, MetaCafe, Vimeo, or YouTube. YouTube seems to be the flavor. And you can insert code. So say, for example, if you've got some code, maybe some PHP script that you're scripting, and that wouldn't, and if you want some feedback on it, for example, that wouldn't format too well if you pasted it, directly into here. So I wonder, can I nab some code actually? Let me see. Hold on, and I need to demonstrate this since I've started talking about it. Just going to nab some code. Anybody got any questions? Sorry, let me see. While I'm just doing that, David, I'll get yours just in one moment, my friend. I notice you often have lots of quotes from users in your answer. Is there a quick way to quote different members in your answer so it's formatted properly? Are you on about like a multi-quote feature, David, which I suspect you are? Version 1.3 of Zen4.0 is coming with multi-quote as part of the core. So I'm in two minds. There is an add-on that I can put onto the site. These are add-ons here to the right. I'm not going to go through the admin panel with you. It'll really bore you. There is an add-on for multi-quote feature. So I'll show you that in a minute. So you can literally, if you wanted to quote, say 5 responses within that thread, then you can do it by a click of a mouse and then do your responses in between the quotes. So I'm undecided if I'll put the add-on in or just wait until 1.3 is officially beta tested and it's upgraded as part of the actual core itself. If that doesn't answer your question, David, let me know. Oh, multi-quotes, okay. Yeah, somebody, I hope that answers your question there. Okay, yeah, good night, whoever that is, just say goodbye. I'm not quite sure who that is. Right, okay, I'm going to quickly grab some code here, some arbitrary code. Let's just quickly go in here. And we're just going to grab this hook name here. And so this is relevant for general code. I'm just going to stick that in there. Or you can put PHP or HTML. And I'm going to show you the effect of this in a minute. So that's the code section. The quote I've already showed you. So this is where you would quote someone's message. And you can save this to drafts. So if you're doing quite a long post or thread or how-to tutorial, then you can save it to drafts and revisit it later. You can undo by left arrow or Control Z, or redo Control Y. So it's up to you. And that pretty much covers all the stuff there. And if you really want to get a little bit geeky, then you can switch it to BB Code Editor. And that's the effect you will get. The last thing to remember here is that you must put a tag that's relevant to, so I'm just going to put test thread before it allows you to post, because if you don't have a tag and try to create thread, it will give you an error message. There must be at least one tag. And that's an SEO thing that we forced. So I'm just going to put test in there for the moment and create thread. I could have chose to watch that thread when I've submitted it, but you can see the result of the code feature. So it's neatly presented the code, so it's readable and you can copy it out. Here's the quote, smiley, and the hyperlink. So that pretty much covers it. I'm just going to, one thing that I didn't really cover there, I'm just going to delete that thread, is that you can put a poll on your thread as well. So let me just quickly delete this first. And I'm just going to delete it. Okay, that's deleted. I'll permanently delete that actually. Hold on. So you can put a poll on any thread that you start, and I'll quickly do a test one here. And I'm just going to put a test thread. And I'm just going to quickly tag it test. Put a comma after your word. So this is a tag, comma, and that inserts the tag in. And like I said, you can open it and receive email. You can watch the thread, receive email notifications. You will not have a sticky option. That's reserved for the moderators and administrators. So this is a poll section. So I can say this is a poll, a question. So you put your options in there, option A, option B, and if I wanted to add an additional one or two, I can. Option C and option D, and you can allow selection of multiple options if you want. You can display the votes publicly, or you can have it private, and you can close it after X amount of days, weeks, months, or even hours. Or if you want to leave it open forever, then that's fine. And that'll stick a poll at the very top of the thread, and you can see simply by choosing an option, cast a vote, it's done. Again, I'm just going to quickly delete that, take a quick sip of water, then if nobody wants to put their hand up to have voice chat, I'm going to ask you for any last questions. If not, we're going to start wrapping this call up. Oh, sure, of course I can. My screen's a little bit different. Yeah, my screen will be a little bit different because I've got like administrative privileges, and I think, is that Sharon, is it? Let me just delete this thread off here. Yeah, okay, Sharon. Right, if you go to Home or the Forums tab at the top, you see at the very top, just under jvfocus, it has New to jvfocus and Site Announcements. And there's a Say Hello and Introduce Yourself board right there. So if you click on that one, this is where you should introduce yourself, and it's a really great way of breaking the ice. So I'm usually quite shy, very introverted, and you know, if you're like that too, then just come on here and give yourself an introduction. If you're not sure what to say, then perhaps go into a few introductions, get a bit of inspiration. But it doesn't need to be your life story. It could be just one or two paragraphs or even sentences, just saying hello, and you'll get other members greeting you back. Right. Any other questions, guys? If not, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I want to thank you very much for your time. It's actually went over what I wanted to do. We might do a little bit more of an advanced session once upon a time, but I really wanted to sort of give you all a basic overview of the site, the functionality and features. It's self-explanatory that, here's a banner ad for a site. Same with here, top right above the profiles. The only thing I guess I didn't show you was the tags, but I've removed the tags from the right here. We've got social sharing as well. If you've not liked the Facebook page, then you can like it here. And we got like if you want to tweet a page or like this particular page or G+1 or bug scorers, you got the new threads on the right hand panel and the bottom advert here. And along the bottom then we've got a contact us. If you ever need support, it's just simply support@jvfocus.com, or you can hit the contact us, put your details in here and send a message over and we'll get right back to you. There's also a help section. It's just really occurred to me that I've not covered the rewards program, so I'm going to cover that real quick before you all go. So this is really just the help section with the terms of use and so on and so forth, all that nice legal stuff. Here's the trophies section, and I'm going to show you that from your profile real quick before you all go. So if you go to your profile along the top, and down here to the right you've got trophies. So this is effectively trophies that I've been awarded for hitting particular milestones. You can see my first message gave me 1 point. Somebody's liked one of my posts, I got 2 points. I've done I hit 30 messages, so I got another 5 points. Somebody's liked my posts. This is an accumulated score of 25 times, so I got 10 points, so on and so forth. Now, when you go to your trophies section, you can scroll down to the bottom and view all available trophies. Now, this gives you a list of all the different trophies and the milestones you have to hit to get that accumulation. I'm going to be adding to this over the next few weeks. I just need to sit down with pen and paper for a wee bit and just work it all out. And these trophy points, of course, you can trade in for dollar credits that you can spend on advertising in the site, or where you can announce your launches, your services for hire. I'll just quickly go in here. So we've got members for hire, members products for sales, and we've got product launches and joint venture and affiliate requests. So if I go into the members for hire section, for example, and have a look at the purpose of that board, When we first started the site up, we made all posts within these 4 sections complimentary, but now that has changed. So it's quite simple. You write up your service offering or your product launch announcement or your JV and affiliate request announcement, or something to go in to that you may have existing products for sale, for example. You can also do that. And you've got 2 choices. You can either redeem 20 points that you collected just simply by interacting and being active on the forum, or you can pay a $20 listing fee by contacting Liam or myself. And I've just noticed the wee typo there. I'm just going to fix. So I'll just sort that. So that's 2 ways that you can get listed there. And I guess just before I go, I'll quickly go over the chat box at the bottom. Non-members cannot see the chat bar in jvfocus. Just down here to the right, you can see who's actively chosen to display their status as online or busy or whatever. You can click on their name and have a chat with them. You've got loads of different options which I'll let you explore along the top. You can even have an audio and a video call. You can do you can view your chat history. You can also do whiteboard and document collaboration. So if you want to collaborate with maybe 3 or 4 people on a document, then you can. Again, you got video conferencing, and you can share your screen. So if you're doing a strategic project with another member, then you can collaborate quite happily on the chat facility. This is what they call, it leverages what they call peer-to-peer technology. So it's as fast as your connection is to the participant connection is. So if the other person has got a really slow connection, then audio and video will probably not be possible, because it uses peer-to-peer connections. So I'll let you have a browse about these different options, hit some people up that you may know, or even more importantly, if you don't know them, hit them up and introduce yourself. And there's also chat rooms as well, so anybody can come into the chat rooms, create a chat room. I'll put this as a test chat room. I could have it as a public room. Now when it says public, it means publicly available to members logged in. Guests coming to the site cannot see this. And you can password protect it or make it invitation only. So when I create this as a public room, I'm just going to create it and invite, I'll invite Les. So I'll invite Les to join me. As soon as I've done that, that's now going to appear available to everybody else. It's going to say that I'm online here. I'm just going to exit that in a minute. So you can invite a number of people there and get networking in real time with the chat rooms. It's a really nice feature. If you're a bit of an old hand with online technology like myself, then you'll probably fondly remember chat rooms. It used to be a really popular thing. So that's about it. I'm just going to check for any final questions. We are done. Just give me a second. Hello, Les. Probably not on the call anymore. Okay, I'm just going to minimize that. Let's see. Ooh, you want Cheryl to call you? I'll probably just do an introduction via message, Sharon. And then you guys can decide if you want to have a voice chat. Is that okay? Just hide your number there. Okay, cool. Okay, if we're all done, thanks for all your time, guys. If you've got any questions, you're not sure about any element of the site, there's a general questions board down here. And you can also mouse over the boards as well, and it tells you its purpose. So if you've got any general questions, then just pop them in here and we'll get right to them. Thank you for all your time. If you're currently a guest listening in, then you can join up to jvfocus.com/join for a $1.70 trial. Come and try us out. Thanks very much. Take care and good night.